Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by. I'm Ishani, a design team member at CrafTangles, and I'm sharing today 3 creative ideas for using a stamp set and make 3 cards that look very different from each other. With Christmas around the corner and most of us planning to make some Christmas cards to be given to friends and family, this stamp set by CrafTangles called Christmas Ornaments is just the right stamp set to own for this holiday season. It has 2 baubles or the Christmas ornaments. One is an outline and other is a solid stamp. Both of these can incorporate the sentiments inside them which have been included in the set. It also has small stamps that can be used inside the baubles for a design or just exclusively on a card. For all my cards today, I'll be using CrafTangles natural white paper. And for the first card, I'm going to use ombre inks by Hero Arts, but you can use similar colors and stamp for an ombre look too. I apologize for missing out the first part of this card. I took natural white paper and stamped with my first pad, which is mint to green, and I'm using the solid bauble for the first card. For the second bauble, I am using ombre hydrangea ink pad, and I'm stamping just as I had stamped the first green bauble. If you've seen the previous video that I did where I had made pattern paper with stencils to make Christmas cards, I had used the traditional Christmas colors. This time I thought I would use some non-traditional colors for Christmas. I'm using stamping platform for stamping, just in case the stamping isn't perfect. It can be done with an acrylic block too. For the third bauble, I'm cutting one of the baubles as anyway I have to fussy cut them. My third ink pad is pink to red, and for all my baubles I have kept the darker color at the bottom of the bauble. Now I cut them out, and for a little finesse, I apply the lightest ink on the edges of all the 3 baubles. Then for embellishing my baubles, I take some twine in similar colors of the baubles and make tiny bows out of them. These twines have been in my stash for the longest period of time and I have no memory of where did I buy these from or their brand. Coming to assembling the card, I have cut a panel with the dotted frame die from the natural white paper and I will assemble my baubles on the bottom part of this panel. For the sentiment, I am using Merry and Bright Christmas from the Festive Light stamp set, and I am stamping with archival ink. I am using a beautiful pastel blue pattern paper by CrafTangles called Pretty Plaid for the base of my card. I cut it a little bigger than my front panel and stick it on a side folding note card. Then I adhere my front die cut panel, which has the sentiment, with foam tape. I use glue to adhere my baubles at the bottom of the card. The darker colors of the baubles represent the shadows. And to finish off my card, I use glossy accents to attach my little bows. I hope you like my non-traditional Christmas card and would try colors other than red and green for your cards too. For the next card, I'm using a stencil called Snowflakes, and I cut an A2 sized side folding note card from a natural white cardstock. It is a beautiful stencil with various patterns of snowflakes throughout the stencil. I adhere my stencil onto my card base with the help of a washi tape. And I'm going to use texture paste by CrafTangles over it. I take a palette knife and throughout my stencil, I will use this texture paste. And after I've spread it evenly, I take off my stencil and see the flakes have come very nicely. I'm going to use Nuvo's Pure Sheen glitter in silver over these flakes. So this texture paste will hold on to all this glitter. I shake off the excess and then keep putting more. The sheen that this glitter gives to these snowflakes is beautiful. You have to see it in real to admire it. For the sentiment, I've die cut a circle because I do not want to spoil the glittery snowflakes that I have in my background. I'm just using a small circle for my sentiment. Let It Snow sentiments fits perfectly on the circle, and I stamp it with archival ink. Then with help of foam tape, I adhere my sentiment in the center of my card, not taking away the focus of the glittery snowflakes that we have created in the background. I love how this sentiment fits perfectly with the background that we have created. I hope you like the way we created this glittery background for a simple yet glamorous Christmas card. For the third and the final card, which is more on the traditional Christmas color lines, I'm taking Ruby Red cardstock by CrafTangles and the bauble which has the outline from the stamp set. I'm taking a scrap of red cardstock, and after I apply my powder tool, which I've made myself, I am stamping the bauble with Versamark. I stamp it twice and I'm using superfine gold embossing powder and heat embossing it. I'm using two of the sentiments, Joy to the World and Merry Christmas sentiment, to put inside my baubles. And I heat emboss the sentiments after stamping with Versamark, and I'm using the same gold embossing powder that I've used for the outline of the baubles. Gold embossing is one of my favorite techniques, and I love to see the gold embossing powder melt away and create the beautiful gold effect, especially on colored cardstocks. Now that my ornaments were done, I fussy cut them out and they are ready to adorn my Christmas card. Coming to the main panel of the card, I must tell you that it is totally inspired by Carol Main's beautiful tag that I had seen during Tracy McNeely's 25 Days of Christmas tags, where she had used a pattern paper which had this red bouquet effect, and I've tried to recreate the same. For the bouquet effect, I have taken a dauber and all the red colors that I had in my kitty, which are various companies. I start with the lightest of my red color. Though it will look dark now, you will see as we proceed that because it is wet, it is giving this effect. As it dries, it will leave very faint color. The first two colors that I have used are Altenews Crimson and Velvet, And here is a look at what happened after I had kept my card panel for some time. I went for 10 minutes and this is what happened to the velvet and the crimson color. So the faint dots which you see are crimson and the little darker are velvet. So now let's proceed with the other colors for the bouquet look. I continue making bouquet with ruby red color, and then I take raspberry jam. This is from Hero Art. So basically I've taken all the reds that I had in my stash except the distress oxides. Then I take my darkest of color, which is grapevine from Altenio. So after I had my whole panel covered with the bouquet, I'm going to blend some darker colors along the edge so that the focus comes to the center of the card, for which I am taking grapevine, the same color, the last color, and ground espresso, which is a distress ink. With the blender brush, I blend the color all around the card. Now that the panel and the ornaments are ready, it is time to assemble the card. But before I do anything else, I will just dry the panel off so that if any of the inks are still wet, they'll dry off. Then I use my powder tool before I heat emboss the string. The string is part of the stamp set, and before I stamp that, I just position my ornaments and see where would I like to have them. And with the pencil, I draw a mark so that my strings are straight. I keep one of the ornaments a little above the other, and then I stamp the string with Versamark and gold emboss it with the same gold embossing powder. I use glue to adhere the one which will be below. And for the other ornament, I noticed that the string is a little short. So I take Ranger's embossed pen and elongate my string and then again gold heat emboss it. I mount my second ornament on foam tape for added dimension and adhere it on the card panel. I'm using these ready-made cute golden bows for a little embellishment on my baubles. I adhere them with glossy accents, clean off the powder remaining from the powder tool, and here's my last card with the traditional colors of Christmas, red and gold. I hope you enjoyed watching these and would create something similar using the stamp set Christmas ornaments by CrafTangles. Thank you so much for stopping by. For any queries, please comment below and we will get back to you. The supplies used are linked in the description box below. If you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber yet to get more ideas for using and stretching your supplies. Thank you for watching and have a great day ahead.